Good morning, Mesdeline here, and today's card is Sacred Fool. The Fool is a great rebel. Remember, this is the Sacred Rebels guidebook deck. The Fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred tool. Sacred Fool is a tool too, but it cares not for the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated to or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. I love that. This oracle heralds a time now or imminent when you will feel inspired, alive, and passionate for what you can offer to the world. It says to you, don't try to be appropriate. Don't try to be socially acceptable and worry about what others may think about what you're doing. Just be. If you want to wear a mad hat whilst doing so, fine. The sacred fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The sacred fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try and outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. More often than not, it is cajoled into fear when it could be playfully dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. So the sacred fool in you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into joy by your heartstrings, not into fear and doubt by the controlling machines of mass media. Take a moment to just let that in. The sacred fool in you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into joy by your heartstrings, not into fear and doubt by the controlling machines of mass media. This oracle brings you a message. It's time for you to play. It's time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first. That is okay. That is good, actually. It's a sign that you're breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. I call it stepping out of your comfort zone. It is time to move beyond them now because a bigger life adventure is calling to you. This is wonderful news. It is the desire of life to operate more radically through you so that you become the conduit through which miracles and crazy, wild synchronicity can occur. You're becoming more electric. You're more plugged into the apparent randomness of life. Apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it all. The sacred fool goes with this without having to try and understand any of it, which is good. Trying to access even one genuine glimpse of life's unfathomable genius would probably make one's head explode. As you take this journey, you may find that people around you are challenged. You might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they live their lives. They may question whether the way they are living is the only way for them or even the best way. At first, they may react rather than take responsibility. The sacred fool in you doesn't engage with this. It is what it is, and it rises and falls as it will. It doesn't stop you from your merry dance of unconventional being. If you find yourself making choices that have others questioning your sanity, then you're on the right course. You may feel you're quite possibly going insane, but you're not crazy. You're just approaching enlightened awareness. There is a moment, sometimes a rather long one, when we wake up to life, shed our attachment to mass opinion, and float in a completely different state of being. We might find that no one is really able to understand or connect with us, to the point that we question our state of mind. Stay with that. It will pass. You will eventually see that you're becoming sane in an insane world. The tables will turn and you will gain great inner freedom and creative juice. Stay on your path, stay on the journey. Remember to take nothing too seriously and it will all work out perfectly. So this is kind of a fun card for me. because I feel like I've been a sacred fool my whole life. And, you know, it reminds me of the card Against the Grain, where you follow your heart and it's time to stop worrying about what other people think, because it doesn't really matter what they think. I mean, it matters what someone you love closely you think. I mean, I can't even imagine how you shut that off, but it doesn't matter, but it does. But it doesn't matter what people think of how you dress. For me, like, I'm a night owl, and so I sleep until 8 or 9 in the morning, and people have always thought me late, called me lazy or made comments, my whole life about, sleeping in, being lazy. And I get more done in a day than they get done in a week. I work hard. It's just I don't work the same hours as most people. And so it's things like that, follow what's best for you. That's the way my body works. And so, the way I eat, people sometimes make fun of that or question it or criticize it or whatever. And then I've also gone against convention in other things. I was a massage therapist when the Portland phone book, Portland, Oregon, was filled with full page and half page ads, tender tease massage, and we go all the way massage, and things like that. Before that, it was a transition time between massage therapy became a legitimate medical type therapy, whereas before it was all about sex, right? So that's when I entered the massage therapy scene. I was a belly dancer back when people thought belly dancing was stripping. Because I followed my heart, I followed my calling. And it's always been a bit different. It's not easy, but the outcome is that the rest of my family, which is very, my birth family, traditional, conventional, conservative, all those things, right? And they became lawyers and medical professionals and business people and make millions of dollars, and they're all horribly unhappy. I'm happy. So the sacred fool, you'll see her hat is like a court jester. Well, the court jesters were the ones, they were hired by the king or whoever was in charge back in the medieval times, and their job was to entertain the family and guests, right? And they entertained with song and music and poetry and storytelling and dancing. And they brought joy into the castle or the court or whatever, right? That was their job, was to make people happy by bringing them art and music and dance, right? So I can't think of a better calling myself. So if you feel like there's something in your life that would help you step out of the box, step out of your comfort zone, and follow your heart, just know that you'll be supported in that, because it might make other people uncomfortable, like the card said. It might make other people uncomfortable, but the other thing it does is it sets an example for other people, because I can almost guarantee that most people have a dream, have a calling inside of them that they're afraid to answer because their mind is in that fear mode. And society says, oh, even yoga is seen by some circles as being some kind of weirdo thing, right? And and so the people around us might question what we're doing or the choices that we're making. That's okay. That's their problem, not your problem. I just feel like it's my job to follow my heart. And as I said the other day, my heart knows what's to my highest good. And so when I follow my heart, I'm rewarded with a lot of really great stuff, mostly love. I have fun. I do things that other people think are crazy. I'm a woman alone, and I'll get in my car and travel to Arizona by myself or whatever. And people go, "You don't stop at rest areas, do you?" Well, of course I do. I have to go to the bathroom or I have to rest. It's not about fear, it's about following my heart. It's about doing what feels right for me. And then as I do that, over time, other people are like, they feel like, well, if she can do it, I can do it, right? One of the things for me is I've always been overweight according to societal standards, right? And yet I'm a belly dancer. And I've had people watch me dance and just come up and say, "I didn't know that a heavy woman could do that. You are so beautiful. Your dance touched me so much." And it inspires them, right? I'm doing something that people think, that either you can't do or shouldn't do or whatever, and being an example for them. You can do it too, right? Right now, I'm writing, and you can do it too. We all have a story to tell, and our stories, whether we write it down and share it in a book or online or whatever, or whether we tell our story, we speak it, our stories are an enhancement to humanity. And whatever our story is, whether it's a dance that we do or music that we create or the way we raise our children, it's all, each of us have a unique story. And so I love getting in touch with my sacred fool and and bringing joy and love into the world as much as I possibly can. From my heart, my sacred fool heart, to your sacred fool heart. Have a blessed day.